Hello, and welcome back to the Charity Shop Chat with myself, Mimi Cartwright.
And with me, Charlotte Greenwood. Hopefully, you know by now this podcast is powered by the Charity Retail Consultancy, and we support loads of different charities with expert retail guidance, training, and strategic insight to help them maximise income and impact as well. And don't forget to sign up to the Charity Retail Learning subscription in conjunction with the CRA for practical sector-specific training designed for all you lovely charity shops.
So today's episode is about something quite unique. It's about the power of charity retail to create an impact far beyond the shop floor. Because charity shops aren't here just to sell things, they create opportunity, create community, and sometimes they help people rebuild their lives.
And we're talking about a partnership that brings together homelessness support, the criminal justice system, sustainability, and retail. A collaboration that turns donated furniture into beautifully refurbished pieces, sold in charity shops, whilst also building confidence, skills, and also hope for the women involved in this project. It's a story about purpose-driven retail at its very best. So please welcome to the Charity Shop Chat podcast, Natasha Morosini from St. George's Crypt.
Hello.
Welcome.
Thank you for having me.
So, Natasha, tell us your role at St. George's Crypt.
Yeah, so my name's Natasha. I am the head of retail at St. George's Crypt and have been for 2.5 years. I've worked in charity retail for 12 years. So I started off as a assistant manager, then went to manager, left and went to a hospice, was a manager there, and then worked my way up to deputy head of retail.
Wow, brilliant.
And now head of retail. So yes, but I think it's just one of those jobs where you either love it or you hate it, and thankfully I just love it. And every day is like Christmas. I say every donation you open, you don't know what you're going to get, and it's just a surprise and it's wonderful. So yes, I absolutely love my job.
Oh, that is a lovely introduction. And you're so right. Like, opening those bags is so exciting, isn't it?
I mean, there is stuff in there that you think, oh, well, thank you.
Yeah, you're like, oh, I've been naughty this year.
Oh, dear. No, the majority of them are lovely surprises.
Oh, that's great that you've worked your way up the ladder. I love hearing about people who do that. As you, a bit off topic, but I'm going to ask anyway. How have you found the kind of transition from kind of working in shops to then working as a head of retail and more officey based? How's it been for you?
I mean, I do miss being in the shops. That's more whether you'll find me that I am around and about.
Your natural habitat.
Yes, not sat at my desk. But when I am in a shop for a full day, I can feel it on my feet. So there definitely is a difference that wise.
Yeah.
But I think it's good because you have an understanding of all the problems that they go through. So, you know, if they've got no volunteers and they're on their own, you've been there and you've done it.
Yeah.
So you can offer more practical support and understanding. Whereas, you know, if you've not gone through that, although you might have a little understanding, you can fully sympathise with, you know, I've been by myself, or I'm overloaded with donations, or the people aren't just coming in, what can we do? And it's just working more together. But because you have that understanding, it's a nice balance of experience that I've kind of brought with me.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you can literally say to them, I've been there,
Yes.
I've done that.
Yes.
I know exactly
You know, if they've got
what
challenging
you're going through.
volunteers, I've been there, I've done that.
Yes.
This is what I did. Do you think can we do something like that? Or have you got a different approach? Or
Yeah, and learning, like, having that life experience,
Yes.
and being able to learn from that is, like, one of the most engaging things you can have as a manager. So
Yeah.
it's lovely.
So we wanted to talk about kind of your partnership that you have, which we thought was really interesting and something that we've not seen many charity retailers do. So you've partnered with HMP Newhall, the prison, to kind of do upcycling furniture and then selling them in your shops. So can you tell us a bit about that and how that came about?
Yeah, so we were approached by the prison to do a talk in their employment hub about volunteering opportunities. So us as a charity, we look beyond the DBS because there's a lot of clients that come into us that have had previous convictions. So we try to say, well, that's fine because that's what you've done in the past, but let's move past that. So yes, we risk assess them and we put them in the most appropriate places, but we look beyond just that piece of paper and give them a second chance. So when we went in, we talked to talking to a group of girls, telling them about the shops and what the Crypt do, and that, you know, we offer a lunchtime service. You can come in for a free lunch. We have a rehabilitation program for ladies and for men. It's 12 months. You come and live with us. You get experience through volunteering in the shops, on us vans. So all of that. And it was really engaging. The girls were really positive. And there was a lady sat there who said, I've been interviewed by Growing Rooms, that's this rehabilitation service, and I'm coming to you. And I was like, oh, that's amazing. That's great. So from that, the conversation kind of started about they had this empty space in their education wing and that they'd like it to be a charity shop. And I didn't even know things like that even existed. I was like, "Oh, all right, yeah, great." And the kind of things they were asking for were like bras and knickers and pajamas and gym gear, all the things that we kind of struggle to sell. And I was like, "Oh, well,
Brilliant.
you can have them." And the amount of bras that the shop sent, I was just
Yeah.
so we could open a bra shop, let alone anything else. So that's what we did. We put them all on these black rails. We send them in. The ladies come in on a one-to-one basis. They buy them, and then each month we get a check. So it's not as busy as like a high street shop where there's constant footfall.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's brought in about £3,000 now since we've been doing the partnership,
Wow.
and all of it would have been stuff we would have struggled to sell. So
Yeah,
it just
yeah. You would have got just to taken it to rag,
Yeah.
wouldn't you? Yeah.
when we kitted out the shop, we kitted it out like we'd kit ours out. So there's messaging all around it about what we do, specific for women, so that if they ever left prison and they're finding themselves in difficulties, they know they can reach out to St George's Crypt and know what we can offer to help them. So I purposely did that when we designed it to make it look like a proper shop rather
Yeah,
than just
good idea.
something that's just been shoved in.
Yeah. Yeah,
Um,
you still want to give them that
yes.
experience, don't you?
a lot of them go in with absolutely nothing. So it would just, it's the opportunity. It's priced a little bit lower than what we'd price our stuff at, but like I said, we couldn't shift
You'd
it.
get pence for that in
Yeah,
rag.
absolutely.
So it just kind of, when we had that, we'd opened the shop and we had this big celebration, we just kind of spoke about, oh, there's this, so this is workshop. I think Matt Spielman used to be in it. Right, okay then.
Like the photography place.
Yeah, so they used to give them the skills to be able to like go into their shops and develop pictures. And they'd pulled out. So we've got this empty workshop. Do you sell furniture? Yeah, we sell furniture. We sell furniture in our big shop in Armley. And they say, oh, what do you do with stuff that, you can't sell? I was like, unfortunately, we call it goes on a journey, but it goes to the tip. It goes on a journey. But, you do get stuff that the leg's slightly shorter on one side, or that really dark wood that you just can't shift and it sits there for weeks and you think, well, I've put a fiver on it, well, it's not going.
Yeah.
Or those things that you just look at and you think, if someone just give it a rub down, it'd be all right.
Yeah. You got to find the potential in these
That's
little
it.
things.
Yes. Like I do
There's
it,
a buyer
but
for everything.
yes,
Absolutely.
you just stick it out. It'll be fine. Try it. What can we do with that? And so we just kind of discovered it together. Like, well, what if we give this second chance to this furniture and to the ladies and see what they can get? So we had to write a business case. It had to go to the governors to be approved. So there had to be several options. Because they were providing the gentleman that did the workshop, it was them that are paying for it. It was their space and their facilitator, really. So they had to make sure that if I turn around and go, I just can't get you the furniture anymore, that they still had something to do because they had a full-time member of staff, basically.
Yeah.
But it got approved like pretty much straight away, and then it just kind of went from there.
Oh, that's amazing. I absolutely love that story. I absolutely love it. I think what you said first, like about looking beyond the DBS, is so incredible, because if like a community space like a charity retail or charity in general can't provide that, then who can for like so many people? So that's absolutely incredible. And also love the bra shop.
It's a good idea. I think we should all take
Amazing
the bra
idea
shop.
for women who need bras, which is most women, for the circular economy of like these bras are gonna go on their journey, and it might not end well for them. So having all of that is just so fantastic. Amazing.
Thank you.
I mean, you've written the podcast title for us, Look Beyond the DBS. That's a great line. I love that. And because of what St George's Crypt do, is there a natural connection there, isn't there? Because rehabilitation, homelessness, there is, a common link to homelessness, and that's how they get into those kind of situations. So that seems like it was a natural partnership.
I mean, the values just fit the charity completely.
Yeah.
We're all about giving back and giving people second chances. It's the care and the compassion, which it completely shines through with St George's Crypt. So they just marry each other so well.
Yeah.
And like you said, some of the people that we see in there, as soon as they get released, sometimes they get released with no houses.
Wow.
With no nothing.
Yeah. Of course.
So they end up naturally coming back to us anyway. And the whole idea is, so the prisons want to end that ever-ending cycle of reoffending.
Yeah.
And we want to break that cycle of starting off and coming back to us. The whole idea is from chaos to citizenship. That's what we aim for. We give them budgeting skills. We teach them how to cook.
Wow.
We work with them to just say that, even in rehabilitation, it's okay to get over that addiction, but what else do you need to learn to put your lives back together?
Yeah.
That's why by volunteering in the shops, they get that real life experience of, would you know what, I could go out and get a job now because I've worked on a till, I've worked in a shop, I've worked as a team player.
Yeah, really good experience.
Yeah, the benefits that they get from that as well is, they feel like they've been trusted. Like you go, so can you take this to the bank? Me, really? Yeah, you really. No one's ever given that trust before.
Wow.
It's just that like constant like empowerment and hope that you guys provide, like in the shop floor, in the prison. It's like everything that you touch just seems to like sounds like it just creates hope within people who may feel at that point in their lives slightly hopeless. It's amazing.
Yeah, and it's a whole second chance story, isn't it? Second chance for people, but second chance for the stock as well.
Yes.
It's all that pre-loved clothing, that circular economy. It all just goes back into that kind of cycle of
Absolutely. Of
being
second
better.
chances.
Yeah.
But could you paint a picture for us of what a like typical workshop looks like inside a prison?
Yeah, well, I think they're like little porter cabins, really. So they don't look much from the outside. And then inside, they just have all the tools, which are locked in special cabinets, and then various blank pieces of furniture. So in itself, it's not much to see, really.
Yeah.
But I think it's the magic that happens within that, because when they go in, and so like I was saying to you earlier, you can't take cameras in or anything. So
Yeah, they must
it's,
be really
it's trying
strict.
to paint that picture of when I come back to my teams and go, like, you should see what they've done. It's amazing.
Yeah.
But without having that evidence. But one of them was a really dark old dresser, like a vintage dresser. And we'd had it in the shops for ages and it just wouldn't shift. So we sent it off and it came back and it was cream and grey and it was lovely. And there were people fighting over it when that got back into the
wow.
shop. They were like, I was coming to buy that. Well, you've missed it.
You
Sorry.
missed it. No, you snooze, you lose.
But then going back to the prison and saying, that piece that you painted, there were people fighting over it. And the
Yeah.
lady were like, do you know what? I think I might do this when I get out. I think I might make a business of it. I'm like, you definitely should.
lovely.
It were they were fighting.
Yeah.
Amazing.
So it's the magic that
Yeah.
Michael, the facilitator, has managed to create within the prison itself, because it is the skills of upcycling, but he's teaching them about trends
Yeah.
and teaching them about furniture, so they're actually learning as well. And it was part-time, like a part-time workshop that they have to kind of say that they want to go on. It was that oversubscribed, they've now made it full-time.
Oh,
That's
brilliant.
how, the ladies love it that much.
Oh, wow.
Which I did a bit, because I thought, it's not for everybody.
Yeah.
Painting furniture, upcycling it,
Yeah.
repairing it.
Yeah.
It's a niche thing, a bit like charity shops.
Mm.
But they just seem to have fallen in love with it, which is just.
And they've basically like unlocked their creativity
Yes,
and
yes.
found a new talent or a new hobby that they love, which I love that they're now talking about, this might be my future.
Yeah.
This might be how I make a living.
Yeah, the skills that they can learn as well when they get released. If they went to a charity shop and they saw that £5 thing that was just sat there, they then have the skills to say, I can take that home and I can make it unique and that can go in my house and I can be proud that I don't, what the prison say, like, I don't need no man. I've got this. I can do it. But that women empowerment, that they can just go out and they could repair something if it broke, because they've learned
Absolutely.
those skills.
Yeah. Brilliant.
And it's like, it's not only the skills, it's like the motivation, the trust, as
Yeah.
you say, and like the feeling that can be like, maybe they're slightly less like isolated, because as you say, like you're teaching trends and like what sells and what doesn't.
Yeah.
Like all of that is just fantastic.
Yeah, and by having the male role model as well, a lot of them haven't had a male role model that's been positive in their life. So even the specific of picking a man that teaches them
Yeah.
has its reasons behind it.
Yeah. Everything is thought through,
Yeah.
which is great. So yeah, you've mentioned Michael. So he's a facilitator. So does he teach them the upcycling
Yes,
skills? And did you already have him on board?
he works for the prison.
So he works
Yes,
for the prison.
So they took him on when
Okay.
when we kind of had the initial discussion of
Right.
setting up the sustainability shop. So
Oh, brilliant. Okay, that's great. And how do the women respond when they see the kind of their finished work?
very proud. You should see them when the vans come and pick them up. Like, you'll be careful with that.
That's my baby.
I think you should put £500. Oh yes, okay, I shall. Yes.
Oh.
But it's lovely to then go back and say, do you know, it did, like I said, that one about them fighting, she was so pleased.
And I guess that gives them something to look forward to, is waiting to hear, how much did it sell?
Yeah.
How much did it sell for?
So we make sure
And
that
it's
every
nice.
month we send them an update of like, this is how much it's raised this month. And so they just constantly kept involved in whether it's doing really well, and it keeps you motivated, doesn't it? When the money's coming in, we all know when the money's coming in, your tills, you think, yes, so we're having so they feel the same. They're making a difference for us, which they feel good about.
Yeah. What kind of a prison is it? Like, I know nothing about the criminal justice system. I am rubbish. Like, when I think prisons, I'm thinking like Prison Break. And is it a different kind of prison? Is it
So it's
more
a
of
ladies'
low...
prison.
So it's a ladies'
Mixed
prison.
completely across the board. So they have
Right.
very high offenders to
Okay, but it is specifically for
women.
Right.
Yes.
Got it. Okay.
So when you put the stock out on the shop floor, your customers know where the stock comes from? And have you noticed that changes how they engage?
So each piece has a little plaque put on the back, and it says lovingly upcycled in the sustainability shop, because that's what we decided to call the workshop, a partnership between St George's Crypt and Newhall Prison. So every piece has this plaque on. We have posters in place, and we have leaflets that we can give away to people just to explain a little bit more. So I'm hoping that that's kind of got across to customers. I think we've got a video that's going to go out on our socials as well. I think marketing are just piecing that together just to promote it a little bit more. But it's been really positive. I think people are initially going because they look nice, like the dressing table. It was because it looked nice, and they automatically went to that. But then when you tell them a little bit about, well, it's a one of a kind piece because it's been upcycled, it's like, oh really? I never knew. But yeah, so I think it's definitely getting a conversation started when people are buying it.
Yeah. So there's no kind of backlash at all about kind of it coming from a prison or anything like that?
Not that we've had.
Yeah.
But then again, it's the clients that we help.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it like I say, it very much fits with what St George's Crypt do. So
yeah.
A couple of months ago, I went to Salvation Army in Manchester, and they were selling bags, denim bags, again made in a prison, and they were completely the same as, like, they were following the trends, like they were a really nice, like, the way that they fitted and the way that they, like, hung, they were lovely. So it's the same kind of vibe. And when I saw that, I was like, I was with my mum at the time, and we were both like, this is absolutely fantastic for everything that we were talking
I think
about.
us as a charity, we don't judge, and I think we can take something from that. Like, we don't know how people have ended up on the street. You don't know anything about anybody's life. You don't know how they've ended up in prison. But until you actually understand that, who are you to sit there and think, I don't agree with what you've done, because you're not in their shoes.
Exactly. Yeah, that's a great viewpoint to have.
Yeah, and they're trying to make a difference. They learn these skills so that they can go on and do something when they get out. They're not. Yeah.
And for those that do judge, I mean, wouldn't you, if you are judging them, wouldn't you want to help them change what their life has been? Like, wouldn't you want them to help them make better choices and get a better start in life? I don't really get that mentality of judging them, but also keeping them in their place.
Yes.
That's ridiculous, isn't it? Like, we should be able to help everyone. And goes back to the whole second chances, doesn't it?
I also think, the people who are shopping in charity shops in general, you have to have a little inkling of hope and, like, wanting to make change in the world, I believe, to come and walk into a charity shop. Otherwise, you can find what you want on the high street.
Yes.
And so, walking into a charity retail space, you have to have some, like, motivation for some sort of social justice and change.
You're just tight because you're from Yorkshire, like I am.
You like a bargain.
Yes.
Nothing wrong with that.
Exactly. Well, that's social justice and change in itself.
So kind of partnerships like this, they don't happen without brave leadership, right? Because people have got misconceptions about the criminal justice system and those who have to go through that kind of system. So it's brave to partner with a prison. So did you have any challenges that you had to work through to make it happen, or because your values fit well, was it an easier journey for you?
It was easy because the values just fit. Even the teams in the shops, as soon as I just even mentioned it, they were like, that's fantastic. And very much because, it is the bras that end up going to rag. They can see that it's something better coming out of it. So even the drivers, when they're going out and they're picking the furniture up, obviously they do say no to things because they know that it's just going to come back to the shop and they're going to have to take it on its journey. But even they were like, yep, great. It's something else that we can do. It's more income. So all the way, there's been no negatives from even above me, below me, nothing. It's just...
That's great.
Yeah.
That's really good.
I always use e-commerce as the example that, when I was a shop manager, I was like, I can get that in my shop. I'm not sending it on.
Yes. The classic argument.
Yes. And I did think that I maybe would get that with them. If dressing gowns, they could sell dressing gowns. Of course they could. But they see that someone's got nothing. They all hold the values within them, every single one of them, which I'm so thankful for. I have the best team. Whatever I put out and ask and say the prisoner after this, they go, the bags that you can see behind it is all stuff ready to go. So I've been very, very lucky that it just fits so well.
Yeah. And do you think that is because it's just the stock that's coming into your shop? Do you think if charity retailers did use volunteers that came from that system, whether they're doing probation or community service, do you think you'd have more pushback, or can you see why other charities might get pushback about that? Because it's actually people in your shop that you have to trust with money and stock,
I can see
etc.
why other people could possibly think that, but because we have the very stance of we look beyond the DBS, because we have the rehabilitation clients within, we're very much for giving people that second chance, giving them those opportunities. So I think if Newhall turned around and said, we'd like to send some people to volunteer in your shops, I'm like, yeah, come on then, because they are the type of clients, they are the type of people that we work alongside every day. Yeah,
absolutely. And I think going back to that point about stock from a younger perspective of someone who is desperate to see change in the north of England and in the UK as a whole, when it comes to homelessness, from a marketing perspective, seeing what you're doing, seeing that although, those robes could sell in the shop, they sell at 100 times more by me knowing that they have gone to a place where they are really needed. And so just by seeing that, although, that isn't cash in the till immediately from your shop, it's like so inspiring, and I'd be so much more, engaged and willing to come and shop at that specific charity, because they've shown me that it's more than just what's going on the shop floor. It's the social change and like the story behind it all. Like, it's fantastic storytelling.
I think it also helps with donations, because whatever any client that comes in at lunchtime, if they need showers, we provide towels, we provide clothes, shoes, coats. The ladies and men that come into the rehabilitation, sometimes they come with just the clothes on their back. And they come straight to us and like, have you got any ladies' clothes, size 8? And the shops are just, they can come take what they want. And it is that care and compassion that it's helping someone get on the way. They don't have anything. So when we have that to give, and a lot of donors do come in and go, I'd like this specifically to go to the crypt.
Okay.
So we do have that coming in as well, which I do think does help with donations.
And it is that thing with charity retailers. It is about balancing mission and margin. This relates directly to your mission.
Yeah.
So it isn't always about what's going in the till. So I think you've got the balance really, really right there. So really good. Well done.
Thank you.
And I think that's a good future podcast episode as well, to see and hear from charities that do use probation and community service for their volunteering. So if anyone out there is listening and you use them and you want to come on chat, then please do get in touch.
Absolutely. On that note, what advice would you give to other charities thinking about partnerships with prisons or similar institutions? And if you had to do it again, would you do anything differently?
I think it's just it's reaching out and asking the questions, isn't it? I don't think anything that we give a go, I think is just worth it's asking those questions. You'll never know if you don't ask those questions. I mean, I was lucky to be approached by them first to come and do this talk, and it is kind of naturally led from there. But if you are thinking of maybe probation or anything like that, it's just worth reaching out and having that conversation, because the partnership takes work, and we're constantly visiting there, and we've offered them to come and look around the crypt, come and see what you're helping towards. But yeah, I think it's just reach out and just see.
Yeah, definitely.
And I don't think I'd do anything differently.
I mean, it sounds like it was an easy ride. You were approached by them. You had no pushback.
And just, if it were different, I'd be like, oh no, don't do it.
And do you have any other plans or projects in the pipeline to work together, or for any other kind of similar places?
So we've kind of spoke about maybe rag reefs towards Christmas. So obviously Christmas has just gone.
Okay, cool.
But maybe they could do something with our rag that, if we've not sold certain clothes, what could they do with that? And at Christmas, what they did is they did like a little market within the prison. So staff could buy things, and they'd made these beautiful Christmas Eve boxes that were all made from pallets, loads of decorations. So I think maybe a focus on Easter. What could they do, more seasonal wise? But it's just to put that love back in. We give 20% of what's made from the furniture that's sold, we put back in if they need paint or anything. So we kind of reinvest back in the project. So it's just to keep that kind of going and keeping that momentum up.
Amazing. I love that idea of rag wreaths. Like, that's
apparently they're really
cool.
easy. I've not looked into making them, so it's maybe easy for somebody else.
Have you got any other plans or projects then for St George's Crypt retail? Any other innovative projects happening?
So there is something in my mind at the minute to do with soft toys, but I don't want to give too much of the game away at this very early stage. But yes, it's something, again, a little bit, not maybe necessarily a moneymaker, but certainly to raise awareness to a younger audience about what St George's Crypt do around homelessness and the difference that they could make as a up-and-coming generation of younger children.
Oh, so watch this
Amazing.
space.
Watch this space,
I was just
definitely.
about to say that.
And so you've got, is it 4 shops?
Four
You've
shops,
got
yeah.
4 shops up north, around Leeds area,
Yes,
isn't it? Yeah.
yeah.
Just for those who don't know St George's Crypt, they've got 4 shops in Leeds. Do go and have a browse. Plans to open new shops, hopefully in the future?
Hopefully in the future, yes.
Excellent.
Amazing. Well,
Brilliant.
we'll have to be back next year.
Yes, please.
And we'll
Yeah.
have a whole new topic on soft toys to talk about.
Yeah,
I
part
personally
2.
can't wait.
So yeah, it's been fabulous to chat to you. Really interesting to hear about it. I've been keen to learn about it because I've seen it on LinkedIn, and I just think it's a really, really interesting thing to do. It's a really powerful example of charity retail doing what it does best, really, isn't it? Generating income, changing lives, and supporting sustainability all at once. And it shows that charity retail isn't just about products. It's not just about the stock on the shop floor. It's about people, partnerships, and purpose. And with the right strategy, support, and confidence, then initiatives like this can really thrive. And you've just been a real example of that.
Absolutely. And that is where who we are powered by, the Charity Retail Consultancy, can help. So supporting charities to think differently about retail, develop partnerships, and tell their impact stories in a way that truly connects with customers.
And storytelling is definitely the thread running through everything, thinking about how your customers know where that furniture is coming from and how engaged they are with it. It really does matter. So from social media to online selling, it's not just about what you're selling, but why it matters, that whole rehabilitation piece and the second chances. And charity shops really do have all those incredible stories. They just need the tools and confidence to tell them consistently.
Absolutely. And before we wrap up, it's time for a final question that we like to ask everyone that we get on the podcast, which is your charity shop shout out. So we like to use this space to celebrate people within the industry, give space for unsung heroes to be talked about. So is there anyone that you personally, or any shop in general?
Well, obviously my shops.
Yeah, I know.
That would be a given, wouldn't it? No, on like influencers, I just think it's amazing that people go in and are shouting about how great charity shops are, because they are. Even before I did this as a job, I used to go in charity shops. Growing up, I used to go in charity shops. I take my children in charity shops just to try and look at all the toys you can get for £1. It's amazing. So I think it's just really important that we just shout about how great we are, because we are. Like you said, for me, it's getting a bargain, it's helping other people, the economy, everything. There's so many benefits to charity shops that we should be shouting about. So any influencers, they're more than welcome to come in my shop and film. The doors are open.
Yeah, go
So we have one in Armley, which is where the furniture mostly goes from the prison. We have one in Pudsey, one in Roundy, and then one in Morley, which is a £3 and under shop. So that's our kind of clearance shop. So that's definitely one for people to go and have a look at.
Yeah, absolutely. Go and have a hunt, guys.
Yes.
Yeah.
See what you can find.
Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having
Natasha.
me.
And thank you for sharing such an inspiring partnership. It's been really intriguing.
It really has.
And to all our listeners, if you enjoyed this episode, please follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and LinkedIn at the Charity Retail Consultancy, and share this podcast with someone who believes in the power of second chances. And while you're at it, also follow St George's Crypt. I'm assuming you've got some social channels.
They all
you
have
want to
their
shout
own.
out?
Yes, please. Follow us on Facebook.
Nice.
Amazing. Where can we find you on Facebook? Just
St George's Crypt and then the shop. So I have Armley, Pudsey, Morley and Roundy. And then you'll find our place. Yeah.
fantastic. Thank you so much. And that's all from us today. But as always, charity retail is full of stories that deserve to be told, and we love sharing them with you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.